Hello, and welcome to another video. This week's video is going to be a Q&A. I asked some questions on my Instagram this week, and I asked questions on any topic whatsoever. However, with me obviously being a coach and most of my followers following me for that reason, a lot of these are going to be fitness related. Some of them are going to be life related as well. But I thought it'd be a nice little video to get to know me better, get to know my kind of opinions, thoughts and feelings a little bit better. So let's get into it. If I have a croaky voice or a cough, then I'm sorry, but I've finally come down with a cold. I'm going to start off with the questions that have come through on the Anonymous app. I have had a quick flick through some of these messages, but I haven't kind of prepared any answers. So these are just going to be off the cuff, baby. Any workouts that you refuse to do? Actually, no. I'm going to give anything a go, right? And I am going to give anyone the benefit of the doubt. If you can tell me why something has been programmed and what exactly it's doing, I'm going to go for it. And if there's one thing that becoming a coach, becoming more educated in this sector has taught me, is that there are 100 different exercises and 100 different variations for all of these exercises. They could all be for a reason. For example, I have a client at the moment who is doing her hip thrust with a booty band around her legs. If prior to getting my qualifications, I would have seen someone do that, I'd be like, what the hell is she doing? Take that band off right now. They're so ridiculous. I would have got on my high horse thinking that I knew better than everyone else. In reality, she's using that for a reason. There's a reason that I have actively told her to put that band around her legs, and it is helping her to cue her knees to go out instead of them falling in. It's helping her overall lift to be stronger. So no, there isn't necessarily any workout that I would refuse to do as long as you can tell me the reason that it's there. Biggest pet peeve about clients. I wish this was on Instagram and not on the Anonymous app because I need to know who sent this. Biggest pet peeve about clients. I'm going to say something that I say in my kind of intro videos to my clients, and that is when communication is not good. You're going to get the best experience in my coaching and you're going to get the best experience out of me if your communication is up here. I'm going to hold people accountable. I'm going to message you. I'm going to see how your week is. I'm going to see how your day is. There are often times that I don't get responses. I can spend ages and ages and ages on someone's check-in and I don't get a response. I can message them on a Monday, see how their weekend was, see what they're getting up to this week, see what their main goals are this week, see what they need help with, and I don't get a response. And I say to people in those onboarding videos that I am not a bot. I'm not a chatbot, I'm not ChatGPT, I'm a human being. And sometimes it can feel like you're just, smacking your head against a brick wall sometimes and not getting a response. As a human being, that feels kind of shitty. I can't lie to you. So I would say that's my biggest pet peeve about clients. Do you wish to have kids one day? I don't know. Me and Nathan are very much on the same page about this. I just don't have a burning desire for the things that a lot of people have a burning desire for. I don't have a burning desire to be engaged. I don't dream of a big white wedding. I don't dream of kids. And I love kids, don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up around kids. I worked with kids lots. I would say that I'm pretty good with kids. Yeah, I just don't have a burning desire for them. And I honestly think, even though I'm very much not, I feel inside like I'm too young for kids. I'm too immature, I'm too selfish. Right now, I wouldn't have a kid. I think if it happened, it happened. And if it didn't, it didn't. And I'm cool with both of those options. So, how long have you known your boyfriend? We are going into our 6th year. We're not very good at keeping track of these things. We're not very good at celebrating anniversaries. We're not very good at all of that. But I think we're going into our 6th year. How old are you? Well, this is a sore subject, okay? I'm getting old. Every time people find out my age, they are shocked. They pretend that that's a good thing and that I should feel good about that. But I don't, because you're shocked at my actual age. You are shocked that I'm that old. So I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 next year, which is freaking insane. And everyone thinks I'm younger than that, and I am, okay? I'm like 25. Can I pass for 25? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with being 25. We'll pretend. Motivation to stay moving in this cold weather. Motivation is a myth. You are not going to be motivated every day. I do not spring out of bed every day motivated to go. I literally cannot remember the last time that I was motivated. I just do it because I know it makes me feel good. I want the long-term benefits that come from going to the gym and doing all these things that I do. I love being a health wanker. It's just my routine. You need to have solidified such a good routine that even the cold weather, even the dark nights, even the miserable raining weather like it is right now, isn't gonna stop those things from happening because you're in such a good routine. Monday morning, I wake up at 6:30, I put on my gym gear and I get to the gym. And sometimes I get there and I've finally woken up and I think, oh my God, I can't be bothered. But I'm already there because my routine has got me there. I haven't had the time to sit and think about it, I've just got there. Stop feeling like you have to be motivated because it's not gonna happen. How to deal with binge eating. Now this is a difficult one to answer because it's so specific and so individual. People's reasoning and kind of the nitty gritty of why they feel the need to binge eat is going to be different for every single person. And I should also say that no PT or coach should be dealing with someone who truly has a binge eating disorder. That should be made very clear from the get-go. That isn't to say that these people aren't going to do a good job, but it should be made very clear from the get-go that PTs and coaches are not medical professionals and we are not trained to deal with people who have binge eating disorder. It can be very different. Someone who has a proper diagnosed eating disorder and someone who struggles with their relationship with food, they are very different things, right? I definitely have had experience with clients who struggle with their relationship with food, who maybe wouldn't necessarily categorize themselves as having a full-on eating disorder. In those scenarios, like I said, it's very individual, but my biggest thing that I say to any of my clients who maybe fall off plan or have a day where they just totally ignore everything that they're supposed to be doing and they just go totally the other way and they come to me and they go, oh my God, I've done this, I can't believe it. We just box it off. What are we gonna gain from stressing about it? What are we gonna gain from sitting there feeling really bad about ourselves, about something that's just happened? We can't do anything about it, we can't change it. So let's look forward. What can we do? What can we do tomorrow? What can we do this evening to make sure that tomorrow is a better day? There is always something that we can do moving forward. Just ignore it, move on. We don't restrict ourselves, we carry on as normal the next day. To stop us getting into that binge restrict cycle, we just carry on as normal the next day. We honor that that happened, we acknowledge it, and we move on from it. Let's go to the Instagram questions. Plans with Luna, please keep her. Now, we haven't signed on the dotted line for Miss Luna Tuna just yet. She is still fostered at the moment, but we will be keeping her. Don't you worry. We actually haven't had any pressure from the Blue Cross to keep her, but we definitely will. Honestly, she's come on leaps and bounds. Every single day she's progressing to the point now where they're both sat in the bedroom asleep. I can hear them snoring. The biggest thing for us was integrating Luna and Rex together, because Luna is like a little child who just wants to poke Rex all the time, but she's getting so much better with him. The only thing we need to work on still is engagement. The lights are on, but nobody's home. God bless her, but she's so lovely, so soft, so gentle. There'll be much more Luna content to come. And if you do love her, go to my TikTok, because I've been posting so many videos about her and they've been getting all the views, guys. They've been getting all the interaction. So if you want to see more of Miss Luna Tuna, go over to my TikTok. What advice would you give to new coaches? Be yourself. When you go to a gym and you want a PT in person, you've probably got a handful of PTs that you could choose from, and you're just going to go with whoever's there at the moment or whoever has free spaces. You don't really have a lot of choice. When it comes to online, you could go with anybody. There are 100 million thousand coaches to choose from, and what's going to separate you at the end of the day is going to be you and your personality and your individuality. So just be yourself and show more of you online. Show more of like what you're doing. Do you know what gets most interactions on my Instagram? Those dogs. Not me. Those dogs. So show your life, people will come. How do you relax at home when you're self-employed? I'm getting better at that. It has been very difficult in the past, and it is something I've really had to work on, but we're getting there, we're getting there. I find it difficult because I think I could always be doing something else. I could always be doing something more, but actually I need to learn to stop, give myself a break and take time away, because at the end of the day, if I'm not looking after myself, if I'm not nourishing all those different parts of me, I'm not going to be able to give my best self to my clients, and that is really important. But I have found it difficult to find that balance, and we're not all the way there yet, but we're getting there. How is your training going? Ooh, it's a bad time to ask. It's a very bad time to ask. If you've seen my previous videos, I did the Kim Kardashian video, and then I did my video of like having a bad day. I don't know why I'm doing that, it was a bad day. And that hasn't, it's not that it's not stopped. Essentially, I didn't give myself a deload, and I think I burnt out a little bit, which made me have a week off. And then I came back in the second week with the Kim Kardashian challenge. I still wasn't ready to train. And I thought, oh, I've had a week off, I'm ready to train. I still wasn't ready, because I'd not planned my deloads. Then into the third week, I've got ill. So we're now, this is, I think, the fourth week now of not training properly. And I don't like that. I don't like that. But it is what it is. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. So my training's not going well. I can't lie to you. But it's gonna be fine. And guess what? I've not dissolved. I've not dissolved. I'm still hench. So we'll get back to it. The gym can wait. The gym will be there. What makes you stand out as an online coach? This question I find difficult to answer, quite frankly, because I know, and my clients know, but it's so hard to, like, I can say till I'm blue in the face that I'm gonna do anything it takes to get you to where you wanna go. If you want me to ring you every single morning at 6:30 in the morning so that you get your ass into the gym, I will do that. I will do that. You don't understand. I will do anything it takes to get you to where you want to go. I will do the most. I will be the most. I think a lot of coaches will say that. A lot of coaches will tell you that. I know from experience and from my clients' experiences and their past experiences, that is not always the case. That is not always the reality. So I can tell you, so I'm blue in the face, that I'm going to be the most and do the most for you. However, it's only when you come over here and actually experience it that you know it to be true for yourself. I've had a lot of clients who have previously had another coach with maybe a lot more followers. They maybe look a lot better than me, and they have had a very different experience to the one that's been sold to them. And then they have come here and they have had the best experience possible. They stay with me for a long, long time, and they return. My clients return. They know how good they have it over here. I'm just saying. Also, something that I didn't think was like a USP, but definitely is actually caring about your clients, which genuinely, I think this is why I find it hard to answer this question, because what I think to be the bare minimum of a coach in the general industry is not the bare minimum, and actually is up here. So for me to come on here and say, oh, the way that I stand out as a coach is because I care about my clients, sounds so absolutely absurd, because of course you should care about your clients. But sadly, that is not the case for a lot of people. I think a lot of people take on far too many clients, their client base is too massive, and they don't remember little things about people. They don't remember their birthdays. They don't remember their dogs' names. They don't remember what events they've got coming up. Whereas I actually care about your life. Like I'm gonna check in at the weekend and ask how your cousin's birthday was. I think that's just bare minimum, but for a lot of people it's not. What's your Instagram fitness influencer ick? I have a few. I did do a story of this the other day and a lot of people agreed. There's one where everyone's got the little mics, the clip-on mics, and they're holding them like this, or like this. I mean, those mics in general is a whole thing, isn't it? Let's be honest. Because right now, I'm using my camera. I'm not using a mic. Do you know why? Because I'm at home. No one else is in. The camera has a pretty good mic on its own. Is the audio okay? Probably. If you've got a phone, audio is probably going to be fine. If you're at home, sat by yourself, talking to your stories, nobody needs you to be mic'd up for a story. In fact, most of the time, especially if you're using those shitty Amazon ones, it sounds like you're underwater. Don't even bother. Your phone mic is going to be better. Yeah, when they're holding them as well, it's literally clip on. That's what it's for. When people are just copying other people's content, copy and paste, and I scroll through my Instagram and it's all just the same stuff, that irks me. There's trends, and then they're just copying people's content. I find that to be so annoying and so boring. Yeah, I think they're probably the main ones. Not being original and jumping on something for the sake of it. Like, don't just get a mic for the sake of it. Get a mic because you need one, you know? Like, I got one to film my videos for my app. So when I'm doing my exercise videos and I'm turned the other way, you can still hear me. That's the only reason. Oh, you win a free holiday. Where are you going? I would have always answered this by saying Tokyo, but fingers and toes crossed, we should be going to Tokyo next year. So if it's not Tokyo, can it be like a big trip? Because I think if it's free, I may as well go the furthest away and make it the most expensive. So I'm gonna say like Fiji and New Zealand. I think everyone says Bali, right? Bali is everyone's dream, but actually the more I see about Bali, I don't know. I think I would go. Obviously, if I could get a free holiday, I would go, don't get me wrong. In my mind, I can see like this Instagram perfect place where you've got all these influencers and all these fancy people, and then you look across the road and it's just poverty. That's kind of the vibe that Bali gives me, and that makes me feel ill. And not to say that other places aren't going to be like that as well, but definitely Fiji and New Zealand, please and thank you. Red flags in coaches. Oh, so many. Just because it's coming up to Christmas and I'm thinking about that right now, I have heard stories from people telling me that their coach told them that they can only have Christmas dinner off plan. They have to eat on plan the whole rest of the time. They can only have Christmas dinner off, that's it. I've had people tell me that their coaches made them track their advent calendar chocolate and things like that. It's Christmas, guys. Just have a nice time with your families. Memories over macros, always, always, always. And any coach that is gonna tell you otherwise, not okay. How to build up a client base. I guess that ties into the kind of advice that I would give to a new online coach is just to be yourself. And I think in terms of building up a client base, offer your services to people for free. Offer your services to people discounted that you know are gonna really, really need it. There are a lot of people, right, who for coaching maybe is a bit too expensive, but they really, really wanna do it, but they just literally don't have the funds. Go to those people who will really, really appreciate that little bit of outreach. They will really, really appreciate that cheap or discounted coaching, and they will do a really, really good job. And they will become your star clients. They will stand out. They will prove to other people what you can do as a coach, and they will be able to give testimonials. You can ask them to post on Instagram and stuff about you, post on their stories. People will come because they can see what you can do and what you're like as a coach. Third dog. I'm gonna say no. Look, we don't have a huge house, okay? 2 big dogs is quite enough. And also, you need to understand, I've not even really walked these 2 by myself yet, so I don't know how I would deal with a third. And I love all dogs, but we love a big dog, okay? So if we had a third big dog, that's kind of a lot. Although I would love a sausage dog, don't get me wrong. What's your favorite thing about fitness? My favorite thing about fitness is probably the variety of ways that you can move your body and the variety of things that you can incorporate into fitness, which means that there's something for absolutely everybody. And the benefits that movement have, the whole wide array, like resistance training pips to the post a little bit, but you can move your body in any way and it will have benefits for your long-term health. And that for me, it's not a sexy transformation. It's one that motivates me so much because I just want longevity. I always remember, I used to go on lots of city breaks with all my friends. I always used to say that I feel really at home and I know I'm in the right place if there's lots of old people. So we'd go to these city breaks that like young girls were not doing. And we'd be like climbing to the top of this tower to go see these views of this city or whatever it was. And you would see coach loads of older people who were having to take rests every 5 steps. That would be their one excursion for the day, and it would take them an hour to get to the top of this tower or whatever, and we'd pass them on the way back down. We'd have done everything we needed to do, come back down, and they'd still be resting. And for me, I don't want that. Do you think when I'm retired and I don't have to work anymore and I can go see the world, I can go do whatever I want to do you think that I want to spend my days having to wait because I'm so unfit, because I'm so ill? I just want long-term health. I want longevity. So I guess my favorite thing about fitness is its long-term effects on health. Which is so boring. I'm so sorry. I wish I had a cooler answer than that, but I really don't. Now then, let's go for one last one. Do you remember when you fell in love with fitness and training people? Let's end on that. I kind of do actually. And it's definitely training in person, which is another thing that I would encourage every online coach to do. I think it's very enticing to just suddenly start this online role and be able to work from your laptop and be self-employed and whatever, and that's great, but you should go and PT in person. You're gonna learn a lot of invaluable skills and you're gonna really get a feel for your fire by turning up and seeing these people in person. And for me, seeing women get stronger, seeing women come into the gym for one reason and staying for a totally different reason. And I see this with my online girlies as well, but it's to see that in person, unmatched. Seeing people's strength, seeing people go, oh, I really wanna, you know, lose this here and lose that here, and then coming into the gym and going, yeah, I just did 100 kg on the leg press, and just their excitement and their sheer joy and how that spurs them on to continue their journey. I love that. I love that so much. And that's why as well that I do group sessions with some of my team all across the UK, just so that I can get some more of those in-person moments with my girls, because that makes me so happy. We have spent years as women trying to get smaller and being told that we need to look a certain way. So to have all these women in the gym, getting stronger, pushing men out the way of the weights areas and picking up big beefy weights, oh, I love it. I love it so much. I hope you enjoyed this little chatty video. Most of it was around fitness, let's be honest, but that's my job, so that's not a bad thing. If you do want to join coaching for January, hit me up, message me on Instagram, and we can secure your space for the new year. I'm taking deposits now. I'm not taking on a load of people for January because I want to make sure I have enough time with each of my clients. So you need to message me if you do want to get ready for coaching, because those spaces are already getting taken up. So chop chop, chop chop. And I'll see you next week.